So it is the 26th of January. Can you believe it's almost the end of the month? First month of 2021, almost in the books. So,
the sixth day of normalcy.
There we go. So here we go. Let's start the meeting by ringing the bell.
Sure. Is that a bell?
Yeah. Mr. Garcia, I see you're in here. Would you like to lead our invocation today, please?
Certainly. Thank you for the honor. And I've chosen a poem entitled Honor Peace by Joshua Fraser. Let us have this invocation in a moment. The wind whistles past my ears. Closing my eyes, I lose all my fears. The waves crash into the rocks. Out here, there is no time on my clock. The serenity I feel here just soothes my mind. A peaceful day is so hard to find. The breeze just calms my soul, helps me think about what is my life's goal. I then look out over the ocean, and it feels like my life has lost its commotion. The sun sets down over the clouds, but the orange glow around makes me proud. As the night draws near, I feel like where I need to be is here. The soothing nature this afternoon brings just feels like such a beautiful thing. I sit and wonder where life will go, but right now all I want is for time to slow, to enjoy this moment and feel free, to clear my mind and find some glee. It's days like these I truly treasure, amazing nights and beautiful weather. It may not seem like much, but it's moments like these that I want to clutch. For once I feel like life is bliss, so hard days in which my happiness was missed. I could get lost listening to the waves, listening to the birds and watching how the clouds behave. I could close my eyes and fade into the night. The tranquility I feel helps me win the fight. As the waves keep crashing into the rocks, I feel the happiness in my heart become unlocked. The day is drawing to a close. The peacefulness I feel right now, I'll only know. Right now, my mind is finally clear. It's time to go as the night draws near. Amen.
That was beautiful. So over 6 months in, and I keep forgetting to do this, but in advance, hey, Paulette, would you lead our Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, okay. I'm happy to.
This is the one thing that I keep forgetting every week to set up in advance, and I apologize.
So if you would all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
You guys put me on the spot with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful. It's all good. It was wonderful. Thank you. All right. Our patriotic song for the day.
Roar, grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. Whoa. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. There's a feeling comes a-stealing, and it sets my brain a-reeling when I'm listening to the music of a military band. Any tune like Yankee Doodle simply sets me off my noodle. It's that patriotic something that no one can understand. Red, white, and blue, I am for you. Honest, you're a grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Red, white, and blue, I am for you. Keep your eye on the grand old flag. Grand old flag.
All right. The heck was this texting? Colleen, tell Christine to try not doing cut and paste. She has to type the password in directly. Because trying to text that out to y'all is kind of weird. There we go. Hey, there we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Zoom meeting for the 26th. And welcome to our guests and visiting Rotarians. I've only seen one guest who is our speaker, Fritzi. And Fritzi, I mean, I don't know if you remember me from the old days of serving seniors, but I still cannot remember how to pronounce your last name. Is it Gros-Daillon? Well, you're muted.
That's close. That's close enough. It works just fine. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you're here. Do we have any other guests that I'm not seeing? All right. Then Fritzi, this is just for you and only you. Everyone else, plug your ears.
Howdy, we're glad to have you here. Welcome, we sing a loud and clear. Relax, enjoy the program, and won't you come back to see us again?
Johnny, that was amazing. You sounded just like Aussie. Our upcoming calendar. Next week, we have this stranger telling us about desert wildlife photography. On the 3rd, the 17th, the 3rd, and the 17th, we have Haven House. Have you ever noticed how that happens with March and February? We have the same dates every month. It helps me, I know, a lot. The 9th, we have Cardiac Devices from Dr. Sari and Dr. Saheni. On the 16th, our own Myrna North is going to talk to us about George Washington, the Revolutionary War. Then the 23rd, Krishna Kabra will tell us a little bit more about the upcoming programs at the Children's Discovery Museum. The 2nd of March, we have Paul Hagee talking to us about the San Diego County Medical Society. On the 9th, we have Mike Strong discussing the East Valley Specific Plan. And then on the 16th, Dr. Pasha will be here on functional medicine specialty. Lots of good programs coming up. Thank you so very much. Any member moments that we need to talk about here today? Hear none. Christine is not in yet, so I will do my best with the Rotarians in the wild. Here we have Kurt Beyer abandoning his child in the middle of the desert. I'm not sure if that's legal, but I've had those moments and I understand fully. Aussie, I assume this was from a previous year since nobody's social distance, but that is a beautiful bass. I'm sure it sounds great.
That was last year's concert.
Yeah, and the handsome guy to your right, he's always
That's
glad.
my son, AJ,
Yeah, always glad to see
my percussionist.
your percussionist. And Alex, we just got to meet them live, and it looks like Justin is coping fairly well with his replacements. Jose Garcia got to celebrate a birthday. How old is she?
23.
23. Down near Petco Park, it looks like. I hope it, and up on Mount Soledad. I hope it was a great celebration.
It was fun. That was at Point Loma Nazarene.
Point Loma Nazarene. I was close.
Yeah, it was. And last year, by the way. Not
Oh,
this-
last year. Okay. And here we have a group hiking Kit Carson Park in walking Escondido. And there's our own Rotary Hill, Rotary Mountain. Love that walk. And finally, Rachel Currington had a bake-off, a family bake-off. And that looks like a Swiss roll. And your daughter did a great job.
Yeah, Evie was the winner. This is the third of 3 rounds, and Evie was definitely the winner. It was awesome.
Are you guys televising this as the Great British Escondido Bake-Off?
Pretty much, yeah. It was fun. It was a really fun Christmas project, but we had so much stolen left, we had to turn it into a New Year project.
Oh, very good. So next time I'll be volunteering to be a judge.
Definitely.
And Jade Olin, 2 years ago, she became a U.S. citizen, she says. Now, I'm not quite sure how that works, and she's not here to explain this, but congratulations. It looks like a giant passport to me. Oh, she can't. Oh, Christine. Oh, bummer. So Christine has a new laptop. All right. We will move on just so that we make sure we have time for all of our programming. This month's Rotarian of the Month, because it is the last meeting of the month, and this is our tradition, correct? So this month's Rotarian, you have really come to get to know in a lot of ways, I think. Has made a pretty big impact on why everyone is here. Between her and December's Rotarian of the Month, who's our program chair, putting together all these great programs for us to watch, we have Miss Charito Rickenbacker getting the word out so that we all know what to do and where to be at the time. So congratulations, Charito. Very, 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 very hard work you're doing. And it is hard to pick a Rotarian of the Month because you guys are all doing amazing work. And I know, there we go. Yay. Yes, the fabulous choice. I thought it said obvious choice, and it was. Thank you all. And we will get to as many as we can in the next 5 months. So if you're not mentioned, just know that I'm thinking of you. All right, we are moving along fast, much faster than I thought. That's good. That means Fritzi gets a lot more time to talk. So we have our fun song, and Jay, I actually don't see I don't see our singer in the room. Do we have a backup?
No, it's Lila.
Rossi?
Lila.
It should be Leela Sackfield singing.
Yeah.
And I don't see her in the room, so we could have Aussie step up and sing
All
here.
right.
Oh,
I could sing it.
Okay, Jay Grossman.
he will do it.
Okay. Ready? Here we go. You muting everybody?
I will. Give me a half a second, and then you'll have to unmute yourself. All right,
Okay.
go.
Ready? She teaches safety as we grow older. She helps our families learn as well how to ensure we can all stay happy, and can we age in a safe and graceful way. So listen now to our new friend Fritzi as she shares wisdom with us today. Her hope is that we can all live long lives in our homes where we all would rather stay. Our aging families will all be grateful. We learned the things you share today. You will bring lots of good information to help us plan for their future lives today. There's more,
Woo!
I think. Isn't there?
That's amazing. That was outstanding.
That
Right
was
off
sight
the cuff.
read.
Sight read. Very good. Jessica, did you take
All
note?
right.
All
Can
right.
you save the date one more time?
One more time.
Wonderful.
Jay saves the day. I am going to take a quick moment here. I just realized I missed a thing before we did this. So hopefully you did read this week's Centerview, and we are trying very hard to put together a way for us to interact with lunch and support the restaurants that have supported us with CORE. So please check the Centerview. There's 2 emails in there. We're just asking for a quick, let us know if you'd be willing to order lunch on Tuesdays and have it delivered to your house or pick it up from one of our restaurants. What we're going to do is we're going to put together a list of 2 or 3 restaurants a week to select from. And the difference is if 50 of us are going to sign up to do this or sort of want to do this, we'll probably do 3 restaurants a week. If only 10 people do, maybe we'll only do 1 restaurant a week. So the idea of if we get an idea of how many people are going to actually do this, that'll help us determine how many restaurants each week will get signed up. And no, none of those restaurants have direct delivery, but most of them have either Uber Eats or something like that. So email both Erica and I, just so we can get an idea of how many people are signing up. And with that,
Andrew, if we can just mention really quick, so if anybody's wondering, on page 14 of our roster is the list of our sponsors. So even if you want to support them outside of Tuesday.
absolutely. And we encourage, I know a lot of you are. I know a lot of our Rotarians are helping them out as much as we can. So this is as much a way for us to acknowledge it weekly and also maybe have a little camaraderie and fellowship and share something besides, the cringing when I try and talk. So here we go. We have Miss Dara to introduce our new friend, Fritzi.
Hey, great. Well, Fritzi Gros-Daillon is a successful entrepreneur in senior move management, environmental consulting, and aging in place home safety and modification. Named Educator of the Year by NAHB for 2019, she teaches aging in place and universal design courses. Working with Age Safe America, she developed the Senior Home Safety Specialist certification and co-created an online Family Caregiver Essentials program. Her master's in business from Columbia University, combined with CAPS and UDCP, gives her the experience, perspective, and expertise to work with multidisciplinary professionals and clients of all ages. Her first book, Grace and Grit: Insights to Real-Life Challenges of Aging for Adult Children and Their Parents, won 5 National Book Awards and the Canadian Book Excellence Award in 2016. The book offers insight, humor, and a deep understanding of the complexity of roles and decisions for older adults and families considering changes to their homes. She's a public speaker on topics of home safety and aging in place at state and national conferences, radio, and podcasts. Please welcome Fritzi.
Yay, Fritzi.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So is there a way to share my screen? Can I just click on it here?
Yes, you can. Go right ahead.
Okay, so you all just close your eyes while you see my dashboard come up. Okay. Here we go. Share. And view as a slideshow. How's that?
Beautiful. Good job.
Okay. Now you all can open your eyes again. So thank you very much and for the opportunity to do this. And I will say your organization is absolutely rocking it with as much Zoom fatigue as there is to have all of you wonderful faces and friends, and it's just astonishing. So whatever you're doing as a group, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've got a couple of other groups that I've been with, and boy, it's been really tough to keep at it so consistently. So really kudos to all of you. All righty, I'm going to jump in. Part of this is going to sound presentation-y like, and the other part is going to be conversation. So please, if you have questions, I don't know typically if you have a format in terms of asking questions at the end, but if something strikes you, just really kind of unmute yourself and jump in unless Andrew and Dara have other rules about this. So anyway, I am Fritzi Gros-Daillon. I own Household Guardians, which is my local company that I started in 2013.
Nancy, you should watch this. This is what Mitch wants to do.
So it's really to do home safety and aging in place consulting, and is the basis of my teaching. And then in 2016, I joined with founder of Age Safe America, and we've been building some programs since then as well. So what do we want to do? We want to make our house a home for a lifetime. And you'll note here that a lot of this is the NAHB. This is based on a presentation that they offer those of us who are certified aging in place specialists. So making our home a home for a lifetime is not only just comfort, but it's also livable and stylish. And we need to decide for ourselves really what's right for us. So this last year has had us in our homes a lot more, had us looking at our homes differently. And there are things that I think many of us have seen or experienced simply by physically being in the space more. And it's also beginning to frame a lot of the decisions. And I'm hoping that some are taking some actions as well as doing some planning for how to continue to stay well in our homes. I have been known to open a presentation with as the bearer of bad tidings. Your toaster is 1 day older. The car is a day older. The flower pots are a day older. So am I, and so are you. And that doesn't have to be bad news, but acknowledging that our surroundings as well as ourselves may have some challenges and opportunities. So what are we looking at? Are we looking at in our homes? Are we looking at perhaps considering some temporary adaptations? And we'll look at adaptations in more depth. So has something happened? Have we had to have surgery or sprained an ankle? Or is there something now that just needs a way for us to adapt our surroundings to make it easier for us to be there? Are we looking at aging in place and really planning to make our current home space into really the livable home for an extended period of time? And ease of access. So making our home more visitable, creating barrier-free so that anyone is welcome to come and visit, and it's easy for everyone. So we're going to take a look at some different ways. So adaptability means that features in our homes can change as we change. It allows us to make some adjustments over time. It also allows us to make some changes that could be reversible. So we could be doing something temporarily or in response to some very specific event. And adaptability also means now looking at our living spaces in a more flexible way. A lot of that has happened with us being as home as much this last year. So dining rooms have become home offices and home schools. And so we've already had to step into understanding the flexibility of our space even more. And sometimes when we've been, the dining room seems to be the space that has the most flexibility for us because typically it's easier to move the furniture around in that room and be able to do something else. But again, are we using the dining room as a dining space? Are we really eating our meals in other parts of our home? And can we use that space a different way? So adaptability just means looking at ways we can make these adaptations. So one of the adaptations for adjustments over time is considering how to widen a doorway. If someone is using an assistive device and needs to go through the doorways. So not now, because I don't want you all to leave the workshop, but when we're done, and Andrew's head closing, put your hands on your hips and walk through your house. If you can get through the doorway with your hands on your hips, then someone who might visit you who is seated, someone in a wheelchair or someone with a walker will be able to get through that doorway. It's very easy, no measuring tape. Just put your hands on your hips and walk through your doorways. Now, I live in a community that was, excuse me, it's homes were designed for folks 55 and over. So I do this, put my hands on my hips, walk through all the doorways. I can get into the kitchen, in and out of the house, all the places I need to go, except, and this is a very frank and honest discussion, folks, I can't get into the half bath and I cannot get into that very special water closet room that they made off the master bath for the toilet, right? So my home is lovely, easy to get around. The only place I can't get is to the toilet with my hands on my hips. And truly, I'm the only one that really needs to be there, right? Y'all can't do that for me. I need to do that. So looking at even in my own space, in a space that was really designed for ease of use, I have that already to think about. And it's easy, hands on the hips, and you'll know right away. This says the second point was to allow for temporary or reversible. Okay, I'm on a small soapbox here, right? It's painted, I'm standing up even taller. My soapbox is everyone needs grab bars. Grab bars are the new seatbelt. We didn't want seatbelts when they first came out, and we don't want grab bars when they first, but absolutely for stability, for balance. They come in hundreds of designs now, colors. I found a company in Wisconsin that they can even make the design match your decor. It's crazy, right? The fact of the matter is we need to have them. And again, in my own home, there was a lovely small towel bar, which because I'm in the business, I would never hold on to. And I would avoid that towel bar because I knew if I touched it, if I tried to lean on it, it was coming out the wall. So with the landlord's permission, they've been replaced with grab bars that are towel bars. And the grab bars now come in so many different styles. They can be around the shower controls. They can be a soap dish. They can be a toilet paper holder. So there's lots of ways if we are essentially trying to disguise our safety, disguise the things that really help us, then there are so many different accessory options now that also allow us to do that. And the last one was in the part about creating livable spaces. It says, you know, suggesting an office, turning it into a bedroom, or adding a bathroom on the main floor. Those can be bigger projects. These two sketches are here just to demonstrate in this construction on the left, it just shows that they put in the framing for a wider doorway, and then they went ahead and framed out and put in a narrow door. This one makes me shake my head, because why would you frame and then just put a narrow door, right? In your home, if you have multiple stories, having closets located over each other could be a possible location for an elevator. And elevators truly for years have seemed exotic as solutions and kind of out of our price range. But they may be a solution when we're looking at the costs of what the alternatives might be. So if we're looking at living in an assisted living community for a year, that cost in and of itself more than covers installation of a residential elevator. So if that were to be the solution for the family, then the cost right there can be balanced against the benefit of being able to stay even longer than one more year in the house. So this shows some of the adaptations. This is in a shower. The planning for the adaptation talks about when you've got the walls open to put the reinforcement to be able to support these. But this is a good photo to show, here's a handheld shower that's mounted lower and a separate water control. So now we're adding into a space not only a shower head mounted here, and we'll see some other styles for that as well, but having a separate control so that somebody who's sitting actually manages the water. Also, when it comes to, if you're looking at these products now, we can also get a water conservation handheld where you can push the button so the water goes on and off. They also, Delta makes one that also is color coded with the temperature. So you can see when the water's hot, it turns red, and when the water's cooler, the color is blue. Alrighty, so again, when we were looking at the goals before, so planning for adaptations was one of them, and aging in place is another. So making sure that our home meets our needs as they change. Boomers. Okay, we're kind of a rascally bunch. We're very hard to pin down as a group. The demographics of boomers, folks born between 46 and 64, there is a huge variation in us as a group, and also what we're looking for and how we can best utilize our homes and all of the other pieces of our aging process here. So boomers acknowledge that they would like to stay, as well as every generation. Okay, so main floor bedroom. We see this now even in many of the new home designs where there's a master suite on the main floor. And it's very interesting how many real estate professionals will say that that is a request of people of all ages looking for a master bedroom and bath on the main floor. non-slip floors. And one of the ways that we achieve non-slip, for example, in the shower is the smaller tiles on the floor for the grip. And I've got some other ideas too. Easy to reach switches and outlets. So those need to be, the controls need to be at a visible height, and lever handles. So lever handles we see very common in commercial spaces and more at home. So our levered handles on the front door make it easy to get in and out. Those of you who have dogs that are tall and well trained, sometimes dogs can be can let themselves out if they hit the levered handle. The company Yale has been making locks for hundreds of years, and Yale has a new door handle as well that allows you, not only is it a lever so you could push it down, but you can also push it in to unlatch the door. So it's a dual use for the same levered handle. And so it's nice to get it, kind of get the bonus round. Of course, you can also get now those electronic doors with the little fob that knows it's you, and it just unlocks when you walk up. So this really basically says so many of us have looked at aging in place and haven't taken the steps yet to do that. So these are some more ideas. This is another kind of design. There are basically 5 design categories. So accessible design really means that it is accessible. And this is where we have wider doorways for movement with the smooth flooring throughout, removing the vanity from underneath a sink so that someone could actually roll up to the vanity itself. And in the front, this is a gentle walkway up to the front door that doesn't have steps. And there's many of us have steps into the house. So we've got some different kinds of solutions for that. But this is a way just to integrate a walkway into that design plan. Accessible design works for lots of uses. So how much better is it for the appliance delivery person not to have to go upstairs? You know, how much easier it is for the little one who is in the stroller being dragged up the stairs, right? So our level walkways and wide doorways allow people of all generations to move more freely in the house. And certainly an accessible bathroom on the main floor does make sense for visitors as well as residents. An accessible bathroom on the main floor doesn't mean that you have to go all the way to converting to having like a roll-in shower, right? So this is really access to the sink and the toilet primarily. Universal design is like the master design category. And so this is the design of products and environments to be usable by all people to the greatest extent possible without need for adaptation. And the advantage of looking at universal design and looking at the products and the accessories that are in universal design is that it means in the future, we won't have to do the remodeling. We won't have to do the changing again. If we put in faucet handles, for example, that are not knobs, but either wings or a lever that we can just do, we do it once. And then no matter who is there, no matter what their skill level is, everybody can get water out of that faucet. So universal design works for us, works for family members, and the design, for example, having this open space under the desk really gives us many options in the future. This is an example of a 0-step entrance with a pup. Smooth transitions from the different styles of flooring. And then this last one is curbless showers. So again, we've got lots of choices in terms of ways to really improve accessibility. This is also raising our outlets so that the outlets are 15 or 18 inches above the floor, and making sure that the switches are no higher than 48. So those are the general rules that come to us for guidance in those areas. Also looking at our appliances. So a front loading washer. FYI, have you seen the new top loading washers with those gigantic bins for 27 pairs of jeans? If you're not at least 5'8", I don't know how you can reach to the bottom of those new drums. Those are crazy washers as far as I'm concerned. Okay, that's a little soapbox, sorry. So front loaders, front loading washers, our dryers are always that way. Easy to access appliances. So having the microwave at a lower level, there's now microwaves in the drawers. And there's lots of styles, for example, of microwaves. So you can have the hinges on either side, and they even make a French door model that allows you just to open the microwave fully. So you're not dealing with having that one big door on the side. Reachable storage. This is a great way to get really full access inside our cabinets. And there's a number of companies like Revashelf and Shelf Genie that have different rack and storage systems that really allow us not to lose those things in the way back of the cupboards and make it easier for us to be able to reach them as well. This one, so here we've got a levered handle in the picture on the right as an example of what levered handles look like. Many of them now even are closed around this part so that they don't catch our sleeves or what we're carrying as well. And they come in hundreds of styles. Within the shower, so this one shows a very interesting, innovative shower head design with the handheld mounted separately with the separate water controls. Many times we'll have one shower head here, and then the handheld is also what that shower head is. So we can have a pole that's also a grab bar could support us as well. And this area shows also a seated area inside the shower. Lots of different kinds of light switches. So these are this rocker switches were among the first, now having motion sensor switches, and the new switch plates that have the little lights in them. So they operate as night lights as well. So we've got lots of new lighting solutions. In this design, this shows us having this wide spaces is important. Now, granted, right now we have what we have. So if we're looking to create the space, what are innovative ways that we can do this? One way in the bathroom is to convert to a wall hung sink, and that frees up the space underneath. So the pedestal sinks that have been popular for a while also do free up some of the space. And there's a number of companies, there's one in Arizona called Safety Sink that has some European sink designs that can be mounted, and then they also have handholds built into them. So the reinforcements behind the walls to support the sink and to meet the standards. So this one has some space underneath with storage to the side. On the exterior, so this is the smooth walkway. I'm thinking this must be up in Julian where the snow is, right? So we have a smooth walkway into zero threshold here. And again, the features that we're looking at is the porch cover, adding the lighting here. So this is another place to have not only an overhead light that may be switched, but to also have a motion sensor light. And the advice about the lights really is that we should have a light that is directed toward the lock. So it's easy for us to see to unlock. And that's really easy to manage with a lot of the battery powered motion sensor lights to be able to do that, as well as the pathways. That door has a levered handle, the 0-step entrance, and the sloped walkway. So here's a kitchen that also has a number of universal design features in it. So you'll notice there's no upper cabinets here, right? So the cabinets are shelf height, so they're easy to reach. There's space underneath the cabinets. So if someone were in a wheelchair, their foot pegs would fit underneath. There's a levered handle on the faucet. This cooktop, the smooth cooktop, has the controls on the side. So those are easy to reach as well. We're not reaching over a hot surface. This one also has, I bet these are going to start to show up. Yep, the towel bar is a handrail. It's a little hard to see because the counter is dark here, but this is 2 different heights. One thing that really works for us, see, I've already gotten ahead of myself here. And we have got multiple sources of light. Again, this is our darkest time of the year. So how much light we're getting in our homes from windows is very different. The angle of the light is different. So we want to make sure we've got lots of lighting, not only in the kitchen, but throughout the house. And the other, for folks who are challenged with low vision, having contrast is vital. So having the contrast between the color of the countertop and the floor helps us know where the edge of that countertop is. And right now, if we can't change our countertop and our floor, then adding a color strip to the edge is just a really simple way to pick up that contrast. In the bedroom, so for universal design, again, we're talking about lots of lighting, smooth flooring, wide clearances, space to maneuver, easy to reach outlets. And this one has the toggle switch for the dimmer. Okay, the bathroom. So these are 2 different designs. Each have a roll under sink here with storage cabinets. Now, oftentimes in these storage cabinets, we can also now add the pullouts. So we have full access to the backs of all of these cupboards. This toilet has a bidet feature that's added to it and is comfort height. We've got multiple bulbs in our vanity lighting and supplemental mirrors here for ease of use. Here we go, adjustable mirror, knee space, protected pipes, and slip resistant flooring. If you have a place in which you would like to improve the slip resistance of a floor without changing out tiles, a product called Slip Doctor is a paintable etch, and you could use it on a slippery shower floor, bathtub, or even on a bathroom tile floor. You paint it on, and then you clean it off, and it doesn't damage the tile, but it improves the slip resistance. So what are our changes? What are the things that we want to accomplish in the future? And how do we look at what we need to find out now, and then what we're going to do in the long run? So finding somebody who is an aging in place specialist is certainly a great place to start. I have a home safety assessment tool. Another great resource for us is the AARP Home Fit Guide. They just updated that for the first time in many years. So on the aarp.org website, there is a free copy of a home fit guide, and it walks us through the checklist inside and outside of things that we can do in our homes. Okay, and that's my phone number. You can text me on my cell number or ring me up. And I am happy to answer any questions about products or ideas or anything.
All right. Do we have any questions for Fritzi? I'm looking for hands. I'm looking for hands. You can speak right up if you want.
Yeah, hey, Andrew. This is
Roy.
excuse me. This is Roy.
Okay.
Yeah, Fritzi. My name's Roy Henderson.
Hi,
I
Roy.
have one question. I know it's not an issue in Southern California, but you show that picture of the sidewalk with snow on each side.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I've been in icy conditions, and I've actually fallen slipping on ice in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know falling, and I've known elderly women, number of them that have gotten broken hips from falling, and after they do that, it's pretty much over for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can tear up sidewalks and put in resistance wires or hot water pipes underneath. Is there a cheaper way to do it to keep ice from forming on outdoor sidewalks and steps?
No. The short answer is no. The long answer is only if you have just to spread something on the top, like to use
I know you can
sand.
use salt. You can put out salt and put out antifreeze liquid, that type of stuff. But
yeah. The only other thing is perhaps texturing the surface. Well, we typically don't have those issues with our sidewalks here.
Right here in Southern California, you don't. But people, have vacation homes, or people in other parts of the country certainly do.
Other than just keeping after it, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Here in Southern California, I will tell you, one of the funny things that's a tripping hazard is actually our landscaping. Because now that we've gotten some rain, I bet in a month or so, all the ground cover is going to be growing over the walkways, and you can catch your foot on that just as easily. So keeping a good idea about that, also putting lighting along the pathway. And a lot of us have solar lights, but if we don't pay attention, pretty soon those bushes along the sidewalk have grown over the top of the solar lights and they're not working. So making sure that our solar lights are in good order. There's also a number of different kinds of motion sensor lights that can be used outside, including a pathway light that when you take the first step onto the path, the whole path lights up. It's by a company called Mr. Beams, B-E-A-M-S, like light beams. And Mr. Beams has lots of very creative, very well constructed lighting products, motion sensor lights in lots of different systems.
Amy, you had a question. Well, you need to turn on your microphone, Amy.
Fritzi, I'm moving to Surprise, Arizona, and our daughter is going to be building us a casita. Now, are there designs or blueprints that can be available?
Yes, there are. There are companies that sell them. I would look at Accessible Design and look at what they're doing with ADUs. So there's a number of plans. For example, in the city of Escondido and the city of Encinitas, there's free plans because they've reduced the permit fees for these accessory dwelling units. And the city of San Diego has 6 different free blueprints, floor plans as well.
Okay, but there is no local, those can be transferred to Arizona, could it not?
Yeah,
Oh,
that way it'll give you some ideas. They come with different square footage, so they can be 800, 1200. But the city of San Diego also has at least 6, and they're trying to have 12 free designs available for folks. So
great.
I would look there and send those, kind of pick the one you like and put an asterisk on it, gold
Thank
star,
you.
and send it to your
Thank
daughter.
you very much. You are very informative.
Good, I'm glad. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions for Fritzi?
If you think of them later, you can ring me up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're just being shy. That's all.
Oh, all right.
Fritzi, thank you very, very much. It was very informative, and it had nothing to do with getting rid of my mother-in-law. So I'm a little disappointed personally, but
so text me on the side. I've got some ideas. Part of what was in my book. Yeah.
Actually, I love my mother-in-law.
I can have a long talk with her too.
There you go. There you go. You are welcome to come back anytime, I'm sure. And good luck with your business. And I know it's going great because it's been, like you say, at least 7 years and expanding every minute. So thank you very, very much for sharing with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. That was.
Oh, it was a great program. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So here we go to close out the meeting. And it's our shower thought for the day. The difference between being a genius and being crazy is the volume at which you talk to yourself. So ring out the bell.
Okay.